getting ready for a really exciting day. There is so much going on astrologically right now. It kind of blows my mind. I have a unique perspective on it all because I follow a true to the stars sidereal system, which is accurate to the stars, unlike most of the other astrology that we follow. So welcome, Crystal. I'm glad you could join us. You are welcome to become a panelist if you would like. And how are you doing today?
I'm great, doing great. Glad to be
Okay,
here,
great.
Lotus. Yeah, lots going on in the world.
Yeah. So what's up in your world? I heard that you had a lot happening the other day.
Yeah, I just a lot of the energy, negative energy from people and yeah, my emotions. Very emotional during this time, and I obviously need to look at the signs, and I've gotten that's why I wanted to hop on here and
Yeah,
see, yeah, what is going on, because I can tell there's a huge energy shift going on
there's
with
a
me
lot.
personally. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a lot.
This
It's yeah.
this is a big year for everyone. This is a big year for all of us. This is in astrology, some years seem to affect us more personally, and other years are collective and they affect everyone. And why do I say that? Well, there's a planet in astrology known as Saturn, and Saturn is the structure, right? If any planet was the glue or the foundation or the earth, it would be Saturn. Saturn is the framework of civilization. It is how we have rules and laws and we have form, right? It's very solid.
Yes.
Well, this year Saturn, about a month ago now, went into the sign of Aquarius. Anyone familiar with the sign of Aquarius here? Okay, so Aquarius is the sign of the new age. It is the sign of innovation and rebellion and revolution. Okay, so our founding fathers, that might have been kind of an Aquarian time when we broke with the format of the governance system of that time and we moved into a totally new governance system, totally new structure. And structure is what allows us to build. So what happens when the planet in astrology that represents form and structure changes out of what has been for the last year? It was in Capricorn, and Capricorn is the way things have always been. It's the old boys club. It's what we're used to. It's familiar. It's based on the past. It's very disciplined. It's very orderly. It's comfortable to an extent because we're used to it and we know what to expect. But when it shifts into, it was an earth sign as well, so it was stable. Okay. But now Saturn has moved into Aquarius. So Aquarius is the flag holder for all us weirdos out there. Aquarius holds the flag for innovation and new ideas, creativity. It's those of us who are forward thinking, right? We're the people who have ideas way ahead of everyone else, and other people kind of take their time to catch up to where we're at. Okay. So if you're someone who's an innovator, you go places, you go first, right? You're a pioneer, you're a leader. Okay. And the leader part is going to come in even more. This is just the icing. Like and this is huge, right? This is huge. This is just the beginning. I wanted to start with the structure. Okay. So the structure that we've been used to has moved into Aquarius, the water bearer, the sign of technology. Crystal, I know your chart a little bit and I know the business that you're in. I know you do network marketing. You're amazing at it. And I know that with Saturn and Aquarius, this is amazing for your business.
Yeah.
But what immediately is coming to mind is that as Saturn goes into Aquarius, it's bringing up a lot of resistance in people who are used to doing things the same old way.
Oh yeah. Yeah. People that I trusted are I feel like I can't trust them. Yeah, it's really gone very deep, Lotus, with all of this.
Yes.
And I know I'm due to change, and I know I'm shifting with that change, and I know the change is good because
Try telling that to our subconscious.
exactly.
I hear you. I hear you. So that brings me to the second planetary shift that's just about to happen. It hasn't even happened yet. And it's going to happen in the next 2 weeks. And this could speak to the depth, which is that Pluto is the planet of transformation. Wherever Pluto shows up, I get a little nervous because it's going to transform, and it's not going to care, right? It's not going to spare our feelings. It's just going to go deep, and it's going to go to what needs to shift, and it's going to shift it. Now, our degree of flexibility determines how easily and how effortlessly we can do that shifting, because, sometimes it's a little bit more difficult. It's happening. We can kind of give ourselves a little bit of an edge. And sometimes I say that this astrology info is like having the insider info. Like if you're a stock trader, it's like having foreknowledge of what's about to happen on the world stage. So you can make really great investments. I love astrology. If you're an investor, this stuff will rock your world. Okay. So what's happening with Pluto? So Pluto's been in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is the sign of freedom. It's the sign of travel. So we've been transforming our deepest views around travel. We've been transforming around foreign relations. We've been transforming around the greater world and philosophy. But now Pluto is moving into Capricorn in about a week or two. And Capricorn is structure. So we've got this interesting dance with structure this year. We've got Saturn just moving into Aquarius, which is building a new structure based on the future, new age ideals. I think of Aquarius as Woodstock, where like everyone came together. They didn't care. They got naked. They shared their food. Yes, they did some psychotropic substances, right? Yeah. They were open to new ideas. They were trying new things. They were experimenting with the foundation and the structure of civilization and reality, right? And so Saturn, though, is the big boy. Saturn is business. Saturn is the megalithic corporations, and it has gone into Aquarius. So I hope you can get my excitement, because the big corporations and all that stuck energy are finally moving into a forward-thinking, progressive energy of change, new ideas, new visions, ways to uplift all of humanity, right? Taking business from being so capitalist, me, mine, to how does this empower and uplift everyone? And if you're a teacher or a leader or a guide that's what you're all about, and I can get an amen from all of you here, because I know that you are all on that path. And of course, that is who I call in to work with, because I want to uplift all of the world's servants. I want to uplift the people who care about the people. Okay, so this is good news for all of us who have a humanitarian vision, who want to uplift humanity, who have new ideas. This is the cutting edge year for everyone with innovation and as the forefront, invention, right? This is the year for inventors, because Saturn is going to show up and support it with structure. Have you noticed that those of us who are innovators and creatives, we have a tendency to have flounder when it comes to structure? That's the weak zone for pretty much everyone I know. Yeah. So Saturn's coming in this year, and he's saying, no more messing around with the structure. Y'all got to build it. Y'all got to create it. And there's going to be support for it. I finally built my first payment page. I finally started building my website. Like, it finally started to happen, right? And I was like, oh my God, I never thought I would see the day. Like, I didn't think like it was possible. So if you have an online business and you're a new age thinker, you're innovative, you're creative, this is your year. There might be challenges, in terms of other people who are still kind of stuck in the old way of being, who are going to be like uncomfortable with your growth, uncomfortable with how big you're wanting to be, because you're wanting to be that big because you want to serve more people. And so it's not about your personal ego, it's about the larger service to humanity. Okay. And so there are those who are still stuck in the old way of being, and you're facing it. And then we have Pluto and going into Capricorn. So if Saturn in Aquarius is building a new structure of innovation and the new age and the future, then Pluto in Capricorn is transforming the old structures that we have had. So we have a simultaneous opportunity to build new form, encapsulating our vision of a healed whole humanity. And at the same time, simultaneously, the transformation of the old structures of the old boys club and the old systems and the monetary system and judicials and law. Okay. So if you're feeling like this, there's a reason. There's a reason. Yeah. So how does that support you, Crystal? Just hearing that, has anything shifted for you?
Oh yeah. I mean, that's exactly what's happening. I got to let go of what's not working. That's what I've realized. I had a total meltdown and crash down on Thursday night and realized I need to go back to my heart and trust myself and my own instinct and let go of what's not serving me anymore. It's a huge decision, and it's something I've been struggling with for actually a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you heard about this, Crystal, but we had an 80-mile-per-hour windstorm.
I heard that. Oh my gosh. And the trees and
it
the
came
water.
It came into the house, has held through. And so why I'm bringing this up, Crystal, is that last week was the new moon.
Yeah. And it majorly, yeah, I've been crying. I've been emotional. I've been, it's been great to know that I need to let go of the old and what's not working for me. And yeah, and look at that storm in California. I know my daughter just flew in late Thursday night, and she's like, Mom, the rain this year out there has just been incredible.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was on a 3-day retreat, and they were losing power in Santa Cruz. I mean, everywhere, all over. And I mean, it really affected a lot of you out there.
It
and
did.
I know.
But here's the deal. And this is the point of why I brought it up, and what I'm bringing up for you as well, is that, and if anyone out there can get this is the key. When this intensity happens, what do you say to yourself? And this is a moment I had when this all was happening, and I was like in it. And I took comfort in my training. And I said to myself, how is this all working out to my ultimate advantage?
Right. Look at the positive.
How can it get better than this?
Right.
What else is possible? These are key questions, because an answer will always limit us, and the question will always empower the change that needs to happen.
Yeah.
So while you're in this, and thank God for what's happening for you, because you're actually being given this huge gift.
You're right.
Of being able to finally make room for more of your true, authentic, powerful, God-guided self to shine through. And you're here for big stuff. That's obvious, right?
Yeah.
That's obvious. And you're a woman, and you're a leader.
Yeah.
That leads me to the next thing. So I'll just pop this up for you all.
Did your water rise really high there? And I mean,
oh gosh, it has risen so many times.
Yeah.
We're really fortunate because this property has never flooded the whole time she's lived here.
Thank
And
God.
she has a river on one side and a giant creek on the other. So
Wow.
it's literally sandwiched between water. But having gotten to be here this year, I'm so grateful because I've
Right.
gotten to see the power of Mother Nature so viscerally. And it's like the message that keeps coming through, Crystal, it just keeps coming through, is that this year is for the divine feminine.
Right.
Not women, but for
Right.
the
Divine
divine
feminine, the
feminine.
feminine energy. Right.
Yeah. The yin, the
Yep.
internal, the internal. And I looked at 4 or 5 other disciplines. I looked at Chinese astrology, I looked at numerology, I looked at, what's happening up in the sky. Everything points to 2 things: Neptune and Pisces. Are you familiar with Pisces? Do you know much about the Piscean
No,
energy?
no. Please,
Right.
yeah, explain Neptune as well.
Yeah. Let's get some imagery here so y'all can see. So today we are doing Springing Into You, healing with 13 sign astrology. So we're going to do some healing too for everyone here. Right? We're going to help clear out the dense vibes of the winter that kind of feels like the last 3 years, honestly. It doesn't just feel like the winter. It feels like we're clearing out the last 3
Yeah.
years. Right? And so here is a chart for today, this evening. And it's really amazing. So let's look at this. Look what I circled here. We have this intense polarity between fire and water. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 major planets in the sign of Pisces. Okay, so what is Pisces? Pisces is the water.
Wow.
Yeah, Pisces is the water. And it is yin, and it is flow, and it is the wordless energy. Okay, the glyph of Pisces is 2 fish joined together, and it represents the the receptivity pointing outwards, held together by a line of matter. And so it's really about being able to flow in 2 different realms, right? The conscious mind and the unconscious mind. And it's connected to flowers, right? Violets and orchids. It's like this very high vibrational energy. And when you think of the Little Mermaid, right? Trident, King Trident, Neptune, it's the
Yep.
ocean. It's the sea of the unconscious. It's a realm where you could easily get lost. Yeah, you could have foggy thinking. You could feel confusion. Neptune Pisces is not always the easiest energy. It's great for film, right? So
Right.
filming movies, this is the best time for editing film, for working on movies. This is such a good time. Western astrology, tropical astrology said that on March 21st, the sun went into Aries, but this chart is true to the actual sky. And as you can see here, the sun is 15 degrees of Pisces. So would you all like to know when the sun will go into Aries and why that's so exciting?
Absolutely.
So
Yes,
it's,
of course.
yeah. So we're in water energy, ladies. And no matter what tropical astrology is trying to say about the spring and the new energy, yes, it's here. But the sun is still in the constellation of Pisces. And on Tuesday night or Monday night, the night of the new moon, I looked at Star Walk 2 and I looked up at the constellations in the sky and I saw something crazy. I saw a picture, a constellation called the tail of the whale, and it was intersecting the sun. And what it said was that means the belly of the whale. The sun was in the belly of the whale. And then we had all the crazy tornadoes. We had them down in LA. We had them up in San Francisco. We had them in my area. I've been hearing stories of windows being blown out and exploded.
Yeah.
And I knew when I saw that, ladies, I knew something was going to happen, because you don't go into the belly of the whale with the sun and not have something intense happen, right?
Right.
And in ancient Greek mythology, the name of this whale was actually a sea monster named Cetus, Cetus. It's kind of a weird name, right?
Yeah.
And that creature was sent by King Trident, Neptune, the god of the ocean, to attack a village and destroy it. Luckily, the princess escaped. So there was a princess, and the princess claimed to be more beautiful than all of the sea maidens, the sea nymphs. And so King Trident sent his sea monster to attack her in the village. But Perseus, who is the grandfather of Hercules, great hero, right? One of the half mortal sons of Zeus came and rescued her and took her to Greece and married her. And so the moral of this story that I got was that we may go through the belly of the whale, but we will be rescued by some positive divine force that will actually take us to a brighter realm, to a more positive future. And so I really got the message before the chaos happened, thank God, that we may go through the belly of the whale, but on the other side is like a brand new land and greater opportunities, and even happier ending, right? And it really gave me the strength and fortitude to deal with what then arose in my life. And so I want to give you this message so that you too can have that opportunity to feel like, you know what, it's all going to work out. This may be that dark side that I'm having to travel through, but on the other side, maybe there'll be some kind of a handsome prince, or perhaps just a handsome offer, right? Sort of
Love it.
some beneficial goodness coming our way. Yeah, and thank God I learned this before all went down. I mean, thank God, because in the moment I was like, here I am, I'm in the belly of the whale. But you know what? I remember this story, and I know I'm going to get out to the other side. Okay, so that's one thing. Second thing, at the same time that we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 planets in this watery realm of Pisces, this imaginatory like dream world.
As you shared what you shared, Crystal, because I felt the exact same way this week. Like totally. I'm so glad you shared that. I mean, it was just kind of like, oh my gosh, because I thought, okay, what am I going through?
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
Yeah. So it's
very emotional for me, and something that I realized I've got to let go of. What I've been building for years. But it's huge awakening, and I feel so grateful that I have Lotus here. I knew I needed to hop on today because I knew there was a lot being stirred up right now.
Yeah. Were you on last week or the last one she did?
I wasn't, and I went, I haven't been on, and I knew there was a lot going on, obviously, with the planets, because I just love Lotus's work. You're back,
Right.
Lotus. We lost you.
I had to skip to a different internet connector.
Okay, no worries.
Yeah.
I heard your whole conversation, and I'm so glad I wasn't there, because you got to have that conversation.
Yes, it's
okay. Yeah.
Great minds, and we're going through the same thing, Lotus. It's powerful.
That's always the case. Have you noticed that?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
You get on a call, you share, one person shares, and then the door opens, and everyone is going through it. So Josette, thanks for being vulnerable and sharing that you've been going through the same thing. And you helped me both, because I thought here I was going through this private craziness, but I'm not the only one. So
No, you're not.
No, you're not. And I thought, I too thought I was the only one. And I'm like, what the hell is wrong with me?
Right. Yep. We always want to blame ourselves, right?
Right. Right. So, and then going back to, thank goodness that I record some of my else is possible. How does it get any better than this? Because sometimes I just have to listen to myself say it to me,
Exactly.
to keep me moving. So I'm kind of grateful for that. But just like Crystal was saying, there's some big things that I really have realized definitely in the last week that I have to let go of. And some of that is a big relationship.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you, Josette.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thanks for being vulnerable. Wow. That's awesome.
Mhm.
Thank you.
And here's the other thing, because it's never one-sided. We always have to be careful when we think we know
True.
what's going on. Be very careful right now in thinking you know anything. I'll tell you why. Do you see this planet here with the three prongs?
Yes.
And you
Yeah.
see this one here with the circle? So that's Neptune, and that's the sun. And what does that mean? Okay, Neptune is the god of the sea. Neptune rules Pisces. Neptune is the god that rules Pisces. Neptune is conjunct the sun right now. What does that mean? It means that our thinking is not clear. It means that there's a fog of illusion around our eyes.
Wow.
We just can't see clearly right now. Just can't. It's like there's too much fog over our eyes. We can only, and then I'll come back to that part. Venus went into Aries. We be wanting to kill something. Okay? Yeah. Venus is the warrior goddess. It's Athena. It is that Venus is the woman. Venus is female. Aries is the goddess of war, or the god of war. Aries is the god of war. Okay? So the feminine energy is in the sign of the god of war.
Wow.
Us women want to kill, like, we are fed up. Okay? If there's any injustice we've been dealing with in our lives, we are fed the F up. And we're not going to take it anymore.
Nope, we're not. We're not. I'm done.
Right.
So be careful, though, with your battle axe and your sword.
I know.
Because
I've got to be very careful.
Aries will cut the head off and then ask questions.
Yep.
Right.
And I just want you to know that, because sometimes, yeah, we do need to cut off the stuff and move forward. But know that energy of warfare is very much affecting the feminine consciousness right now. Right? And how many lifetimes have we acted fiercely as warriors and then regretted it?
Right.
Right.
So it's a very fine edge right now, because on one hand, and I'm so glad you're here. I'm so glad, because I'm like, I have this information and I really want you to have it, because there's a lot of confusion right now.
Yeah.
A lot with the sun and Neptune, which is illusion, right? Look at the Piscean energy. We've got the camera, we've got the movie set, we've got the imagination, we've got the fantasy realm. Every fantasy movie you've ever watched, that's Pisces energy, right?
Oh, wow.
Anytime someone channels something from another realm and it's like fun and whimsical, but it's not very grounded or real, that is Pisces.
Okay.
So we've got the sun in the constellation of Pisces. And then we've got the planet, Neptune, that rules Pisces, because every sign has a planet that rules it in that sign, aspecting the sun. So that is going to, like, if you're to 10x something, this 10x is the sun in Pisces.
Wow.
This makes it really strong. Then you add the fact that we have the planet Mercury also in Pisces. Are you all familiar with Mercury? Do you know what Mercury is all about?
No. Mm-mm.
See, this is why I have to get on here.
Yes.
Communication.
Wow.
Uh-oh. Self-expression. Internet marketing.
Mm.
Okay. So all forms of communication, but it's in the sign of Pisces. What is Pisces? It's dreamy. It's vague. It does not do well in Pisces. Sadly, I have Mercury in Pisces in my chart. So I really have to work with my clarity because I will just live in the realm of imagination if I could, right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Who wouldn't?
Yeah.
Who wouldn't? But
Mhm.
that's where us knowing the planet of communication is in the most foggy, unclear sign ever right now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Mercury
And the
is
sun.
in the Mercury is the
Yes.
communication sign.
Yes.
Wow.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Mercury is in Pisces. All right. Wow.
It is.
So yeah, cloudy.
Cloudy. Cloudy thinking, cloudy, like, you know what the best thing to do between now and April 15th would be? Probably go on
What?
retreat.
Yeah.
Literally.
Okay.
Just say, you know what? I love you all, but I'm not gonna try and build when my head is in the realm of the soul. Okay, here's the
Yeah.
other thing. What is this year about?
Structure, building structure.
Well, that's one thing. But I looked at I looked at Chinese astrology, I looked at numerology, I looked at the fact that this new moon was in Pisces Sun, Pisces Moon. And I found 3 or 4 different systems supporting that this is a watery year.
Mm.
Overall, in Chinese astrology, this is the year of the water rabbit.
Right. And I'm supposed to
So-
be near water a lot in my sign.
Yes. 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 And so what does the rabbit have? Huge ears.
Oh,
What are they good
For-
for?
Listening.
listening.
Mhm.
Listening.
Listening.
Mm.
Did we lose her
Yeah.
again?
So
Oh,
if
there you are.
we're used to talking, right? We're big talkers, we're communicators, but we're in a year that's about listening.
Mm.
Could you see how there might be a little challenge here?
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So this year is so much about listening. And it's a water rabbit. It's not an earth rabbit. It's not a fire rabbit. It's a water rabbit. And
Wow.
so listening, meditation, spiritual retreat.
Mm.
Also, I'll come back to that point. But in numerology, this is the year of the 7. Does anyone know what the 7 is all about?
Spirituality.
Exactly.
Spirituality going
Exactly.
inside.
Spirituality. Wow.
Uh-huh. Mhm.
Yeah. So if this year is about spirituality, we've got a 7. It's the year of the water rabbit. Guess what planet rules 7 in numerology? Any guesses?
Mm. I can't think of one
No.
right now offhand. Sorry.
Neptune.
Neptune.
Of course. Of course.
Yeah. So Neptune rules 7. So it's about water again and
Wow.
spirituality. And then we've got the water rabbit. And guess what sign the water rabbit is associated with? Just try one.
Pisces.
Yes,
Pisces.
it is Pisces.
Pisces. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
So lots
So
of water.
a lot of water. And you know how many inches of water where I am has gotten this year?
Yeah.
Over 100 inches.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That's
Over.
unbelievable for that area.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That's how much it rains in Hawaii.
So
Holy cow.
yeah.
The ground is
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
stable,
So
is it?
this
The
has been
ground
a
is
Hawaiian
soaked.
level. It's pretty, it's okay. You know, we're doing decent
Yeah,
actually.
good. Good.
But it's a lot of water. And you know, there's another reason why I recommend a retreat this year. And that is because you would think in all this water and all this spiritual energy, things would be calm and peaceful. But I looked back to the year 1963 and 1964 when the last water rabbit year was. And that was the year that JFK was assassinated.
Yep.
So what has come to me intuitively is that it's so much water because it's the year of change.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a year of us flowing with the winds of change and not resisting it. But that in order to handle the winds of change, we are going to have to, this is like not an option, cultivate our spiritual practice.
Wow.
Cultivate our spiritual connection to source. Because Neptune and Pisces are all about spirituality. They're all about the formless realm. And what is our connection to this realm? Now I'm going to add a whole nother level to it. Are you ready?
Yes. Loving this.
So the North Node in astrology is related to our karmic destiny. It's related to our future. It's related to what we're here for. Okay. And last year, the North Node was in Aries. The North Node was all about personal fire, personal individuality, identity, like breaking out of the mold, getting out there, really leading. And it broke up a ton of relationships actually, because people were so individualistically focused. They didn't want nothing to do with any sort of relationship balancing. Nothing. So right now, the North Node is in its last final push of Aries. It's like in its full power right now. And then it's going to move back in the next couple months into Pisces. So if you're feeling especially intensely independent right now, I would blame it on this, which is 1 degree of Aries North Node aspecting Venus, the goddess of love in Aries. So we're feeling as women, especially independent. I got to follow my path. I got to follow my purpose.
Yeah. Yeah.
I got to do what I'm here for. I don't care who's in the way. Okay. Got to be careful with that.
Yep.
Right? Got to be careful with that, because guess what? Let's get an actual date for when the North Node is going to go into Pisces. Shall we check this out? Because
yes,
I think that is going to help us be able to plan a little bit about when is the energy going to shift from being so crazy individualistic into the spiritual realm. That's kind of what's going to happen. We're going to shift from being gung-ho, we got to be independent, we got to do our own thing, to, oh my God, I haven't been doing my spiritual practice. I'm not in touch with my spiritual self. Who am I spiritually? And we're going to be like, whoa, what was I fighting so hard for?
Right.
And it's going to be a little bit of a surprise. So I want you to be prepared that the whole collective consciousness on the earth, when the North Node goes into Pisces, it's going to change. Like, you're going to be like, wow, the energy is really different. Like, people are going to chill out. And they're kind of not going to have the same like independent spirit that they've had, which is great. I've loved this.
Yes.
But I think people kind of do need a retreat.
Yeah.
So if you are a retreat guide, when the North Node goes into Pisces is going to be such an amazing time to do a retreat. And I feel like, Crystal, this is interesting because I know your astrology a little bit. This might line up around your birthday time.
Oh, wow.
Interestingly enough.
Really, around August?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
So you might be feeling that, and it might be more internal time.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. I love knowing people who come to my classes, because then I can give you a little bit of like super insider view.
Right.
And it's
A
fascinating.
good time to do a retreat around my birthday.
Yeah.
That would be awesome.
Either
in the mountains.
For others. Yeah. Exactly. And I really like intuitively have been getting that you're here to teach about nature.
Yeah.
And that you have like a past life Native American energy that's really wanting to come through. And I think the people in your life were not supporting your spiritual expression.
Right.
And that's part of the conflict you're dealing with.
Yeah.
And it's painful because you care for these.
Yes. Wow. I love this.
I'm hearing to tell you that you're going to feel so much better on the other side.
Yeah.
You're going to sleep better. Your friendships are going to be more nourishing. You're going to be reborn.
I love it.
Yeah.
Finally.
So of course you came. Of course you came. You knew. I was like, Crystal is here in the house. I was like, wow, I feel that.
Yeah.
Feel that energy. So looking at this chart. Yeah. Powerful
so when's
stuff.
the date? Yeah. When are we headed toward the North Node?
It's around summer. It's around summer. Yeah. Yeah. And it's before August. I'm just really keying in on the date here.
Okay.
It looks like to be after the first half of July. So let's try July 24th and see where it is then. I'm really excited to find this out because I think, because you do this social marketing stuff, Crystal, your finger is really on the pulse.
Yeah. And I love retreat. Been wanting to do a retreat and bring people together and out in nature and in the mountains somewhere. Yeah. So I need to start looking at a place to do that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think you totally.
Where do you live?
I'm in Colorado.
Oh,
yeah,
nice.
and I have beautiful mountains. Yeah, beautiful mountains. It's such a great place in the summer up in Estes Park, Aspen.
Oh, nice.
To hike and retreat and be out in nature near water. And I'm very passionate about that. Yeah, passionate about hiking and the flowers and just soaking it all in.
Nice.
And reconnecting with ourselves, right? And our and letting go of things that aren't serving us right now.
That's right.
Yeah. Oh, that's really cool. I haven't been to Estes Park in 20 years.
Yeah. Beautiful. And then Grand Lake on the other side of the divide. Beautiful spot. Even though we had a ton of fires, I spent a lot of time there on the lake, on water and hiking. Yeah, I love being out in nature. Like Lotus said, I mean, she's seeing that, and I'm feeling feeling like I need to get back out and out of, my space. I've been working, and I need to find myself again. And what crystal, and my power, and dive into that.
Yes, 100%. Because, and this is what I'm hearing for you, Crystal, is that what you may have disproportionately thought was not important is actually the most important. And it's actually collectively what everyone's going to be keying into this year. And so it's actually following the pulse of the collective towards where people are moving. They're moving into this awareness. This is big stuff. And most people don't even know about it because they follow a different form of astrology, and they think that the North Node is, gosh, what, in Taurus or something? Like it's so different.
Yeah, and that's my big question, Lotus. So with this astrology and what you're teaching, and this is where I'm like with my friend, I so want her to get on, Dana. I'm like, she's so into astrology, and she's like, she thinks she's a Cancer, dates Cancers, all these men, and the power of love, all of this. And I'm like, Dana, you have got to get on and realize you are a month behind. I mean, it's a month backwards. She's not understanding, and nobody wants to, I'm sure you get this resistance with a lot of people, with astrology. Right? Yeah. Should I even be following anything? I mean, do you even go there and read like my Leo? Because I'm really a Leo, right? And that's the part.
You are a Leo.
Yeah. I'm a Leo, not a Virgo. I'm a Leo.
Right. Yeah, I would read it. I would read it because it's, it's about you, right? It's Leo. It's Leo. Not,
yeah. And then how do I know my moon
they're
sign?
gonna think, so I'll just give a little explanation here.
Yeah, this will be good because I want to explain it to people and try to, bring people on that have this brainwashed mind. They're stuck in the astrology, Western astrology ways, Susan Miller,
So basically Western astrology is going to be 24 degrees ahead of the stars.
Okay.
So it was accurate 2,000 years ago. It's no longer accurate. If you had a telescope or Star Walk 2, you can have them get Star Walk 2 and be like, look, what sign is the sun in right now? And have them look at the stars and see the sun is in the constellation of Pisces right now. And they'll be like, but it's in Aries. And you're like, but why is it in the constellation Pisces? Please tell me how that makes any sense.
Okay, that's what I'm going to do. Have her download that app on her phone like I have, and then explain it that way. Lotus, I'm so glad you're clarifying this. It'll be much easier for me to have conversation because I have a lot of people that, believe in this, in the Western astrology. Yeah,
I know. I'm facing it head on right now. I'm facing it head on, and I feel really passionate about it because just like the moon affects our body, you better believe that the other planets affect us energetically, but we're being told that the planets are in a sign 24 degrees ahead of where they actually are. So we're being told a lie, essentially, and nobody's talking about this.
No, and it needs to come out. My gosh, I just got a download of chills when you said that. Star
Walk 2, my friends.
Yeah.
So what does Venus and Aries mean?
What does it mean?
Female, Aries leader. Female leader. Okay. But are we going to be female leaders that cut off the heads and dicks of everyone around us? Or are we going to learn how to bring balance?
We're going to learn to rebalance, lady.
That's right. But be careful, because that energy of the goddess and war are connecting right now.
Okay.
So if you feel that temper flaring, I want you to have a little wisdom and understand that it's going to help you to move forward to the extent that you don't cause any injuries.
Right.
Because that's when the karmic energy shifts. That's when it shifts.
Okay.
So we want to keep it positive. Yeah?
Yes, we do.
So let me ask you this. If you could get anything out of today's call, what would it be?
Oh,
I think for me, direction.
And what would it feel like to have this direction?
Feel what would that feel like? It would
Yeah.
feel like it would feel like, okay, so for me right now, it would feel like I now know the next step.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Somewhat completion on something. Mhm.
How would it feel in your body?
Calm and relaxed.
yeah.
Good. 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 And how would your mind feel?
At ease.
And what would be happening around you if you felt this way?
Balance of energy.
And how would your home feel?
Calm.
Yeah.
Clear.
Good. Good. So keep that. And then you're going to anchor it. You're going to take one hand and just place it on your heart, Josette.
Okay.
And you're anchoring in all those feelings so that they're there. And it's going to become like a magnet that's going to begin to attract people, places, things, and opportunities that will match this. So just feel that there. It's nestling. It's being centered into your beingness and planted, right? A little bit like a seed, and we're in that new moon time. So it's a good time for starting to sprout those seedlings. Good. Good. And now we're going to do a couple more processes, but we're going to come back to this, okay? We're going to come back to this. So I just wanted you to have this seed. It's intention.
Thank you. Okay.
Good. And Crystal, if you could get anything out of this call today, what would it be?
I know for me, I'm wanting answers because I know, and I already know it's letting go. It's letting go of something that's not serving me anymore. It's the old and the past, and knowing that the new, and like you had mentioned, the retreat, I'm feeling like I definitely need some downtime for myself in the next week or two before all of this shift is happening.
Mhm.
To get very clear on, it's kind of similar to my direction, that I'm making the right choice. I know intuitively that I am, but it's like, it's so great to know that the planets and what is happening and all this stir and the cloudiness from even what you've shared already today, it's becoming very clear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's that path, very similar to what Josette's going through, and it's the validation knowing my energy is focused on the right thing and letting go and creating the new, and it's going to be powerful. And giving my time, my space and time for that, and knowing that it's okay that maybe it hasn't worked out the way I had planned. And to let go of the
Mhm.
energy and the people that maybe I thought I had trusted, but deep down in, it's that anger, and that's where I've gotten so angry because I've seen they're resistant to the change themselves.
So as you're on the other side of this hump
Yes.
and you're arriving in this new place, what will that feel like?
Oh, powerful, magnetic, that I'm attracting the right people and the right space, that it's coming. I know it's coming.
And how will your body feel?
Oh, even more energized. I mean, because I feel like I've been shut down and I feel energetic. I feel like this spring and summer, it's a time to be alive and share my best expression of myself and not hold back, not feel like I have to be perfect.
Right.
Speak my truth, right? Speak my truth, my authentic truth.
And what would it feel like if we could all speak our authentic truth with the energy of jovial?
No.
Now that's a big one because we are used to speaking our truth, but having to fight and for it to be intense and almost like we have to fight it for it.
Right, right.
So as you invite that speaking your truth, and I also invite all of us to begin to call in the energy of jovial, the energy of lightheartedness, the energy of fun with speaking our truth.
Yes.
Employment. All these things that maybe we haven't thought were possible. And so as I add that other idea into your vision, just as a little support,
Yeah.
what will it feel like in your home as you move forwards into this new?
Into my home, my gosh. Airy and light. There won't be as much heaviness.
Go.
Yeah.
Okay. And how will it feel when you wake up in the morning?
Refreshed and vibrant and excited for what is to come.
Beautiful. So take that energy and that vibration and just plant it in your heart. Just allow it to just come in. And of course, because we're both here witnessing you, this is even more amplified, and just feel that vibration and that completion, right? That sense of having the relief.
Yes.
Where you've wished to be and finally being there.
Yes.
Just feel that plant beautiful vibration into your heart.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the new moon time. So this is a time of powerful intention setting to create into this new year, this new rebirth, this new life, this new you.
Yes.
Always been you.
Yeah.
Always.
Yes.
Good. And just planting that. Beautiful. Beautiful. Good. So it's there now. It's going to continue growing and being watered and nourished and attracting the right people and places and things that you need to grow.
Yes. Thank you.
Forwards. Okay. So now we might as well just jump into this next part. So Josette, when you think about your vision of what you want to create, first of all, please give yourself until April 15th and 20th for the clouds to part, because the sun will be in Pisces until April 20th. So, so just know this might be a month-long process of like kind of allowing yourself to have more rest time, go on a lot more walks, because you're going to have a juxtaposition of so many water planets, 4 or 5 in Pisces, and now 4 or 5 in Aries. So I didn't mention this. I should probably show you this.
Yes.
Yeah, so as I started to, but didn't quite finish, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or more planets in Pisces here. Water. And then the North Node, Juno, the planet of marriage. So the asteroid related to marriage is in Aries right now. Do you think that's a good time for marriage?
No.
No,
Aries, the god of war?
no.
Yeah. This is a tricky time for partnerships, okay? I'm just gonna say it. Be careful. Just if you need to do things, you got to do things, but please just know that this is happening.
Mm.
Then you've got Venus in Aries, you've got Uranus. What is Uranus? Uranus is revolution and rebellion. This is in Aries right now, my friends. People are done with the status quo. They are picking and fighting, and there's a lot of tension in the air. This is not a good time for driving.
So don't go on a long road trip.
Well, fine, go on a long road trip, but be careful.
Be very careful, yeah.
Careful, yeah. So we've got about half and half, a little more water to fire.
Okay.
But a lot of water and fire. Well, what does that create? That creates steam.
Mm.
You feel like you got steam coming out your ears right now? Like
Yes.
literally, those two energies are in polarity right now, water and fire. So do you know the element that we need in feng shui to balance water and fire? It's wood.
Yeah.
It's wood. Because the fire can burn the wood and get fuel, and it drains the water. So maybe putting like a bamboo plant on your desk this year might be helpful.
Ooh, yeah.
To help.
I love bamboo. I love bamboo.
I'm laughing because I have 3 bamboo on my desk, and my husband had a car accident this morning, or early this afternoon, right before the call.
Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
So yeah.
it depends on his personal element, right? So if he's metal, wood and metal don't go very well. I'll talk to you more about this, Josette.
Okay.
Yeah, so there's obviously some tension going on between you two that is manifesting, right?
Yes.
This happened in a relationship I was in prior to us not. Well, anyways, he got into an accident in my car, right?
Oh, wow. Wow.
I know, right? The nerve.
Oh, yeah.
Anyways, so cars and Aries don't mix very well because Aries is sudden, abrupt, impulsive moves. So when there's so much in Aries, but there's all this water, it's like we're vague because we got Mercury in Pisces, which is unclear, foggy thinking, but then our instinctual energy, which is usually ruled by Venus or Mars, is expressing impulsively. So at the same time that we're foggy-headed and not thinking clearly because the sun conjunct Mercury and Neptune in Pisces, Venus and Aries acting impulsively, and Mars 2 days ago, basically yesterday, Mars, the masculine, how we take action, changed signs after 3.5 months of being in Taurus and moved into Gemini. Gemini is the sign of the twins. It's the sign of indecision.
Oh.
Right.
It's the sign of like, there's so many options.
Right.
It's an air sign. It moves fast, but it doesn't stay long. So it's like we're all wanting to move really fast, but we don't necessarily know which direction we're going in. It's like the perfect storm, right? So we've got all of this psychic energy, we're very sensitive. Pisces is very sensitive. We're intuitive. We're psychic right now. We're getting lost in the clouds and not clear on our direction. But our Venus, our feminine energy, is feeling like fighting and being a warrior and going into battle. And our Mars energy is wanting to do everything at once. And fire, air feeds fire. So Mars in Gemini is feeding the fire of Aries, fanning the flames, while the sun is putting out the fire. So there's this elemental challenge with all of the signs right now, affecting all of us.
Yeah.
Affecting all of us. And so what is the best way to work with this energy? I just told you the worst case. So the best case is to have a dream journal. It's to meditate. It is to have a purpose you're working on that you can pour your fiery energy into, and stay the bleep away from people who trigger you. Because your trigger is going to be very slight right now. Like it's Aries is combustible. So it's really important to go on nature walks, to go near the water, because even though you've got all this psychic energy, it's good to meditate. Your instinctual self in Aries is still wanting to react and act out. So do you see how it's like we're having to control the dragon?
Right.
Because the dragon wants to breathe fire. So take her near the water. Take her near the water and be like, it's okay.
Yeah.
But give her something to do. She needs a purpose. That's why I had to get on this call today. My sun is actually in Aries. So I am here because that energy is just too much not to do something. You can't just go on retreat. So as much as I said it's a great time to go on retreat, that energy wants to take action. It wants to lead. It wants to fight. So you have to give it something to fight. Feed it. But feed it food that's going to help you and not hurt you.
Yes.
Okay. And then with Mars, you want to network right now. This is like all that Gemini wants to do is network. It wants to meet every person on the earth and chat with them, right? Get to know them. So this is an extraordinary time for networking, an extraordinary time to meet people, hang out with other women, right?
Yeah.
Hang out with women where you're not going to feel this like, you know what's happening probably is we're probably feeling ancient anger towards men arising on a collective level, because for thousands of years, women have been subjugated to an inferior position in our society. And when Venus goes into Aries, guess what? Feminine ain't gonna take that. She ain't gonna take it. She's like, you talk to me that way again, you know, and I'm gonna bring out my ninjas. So
this is hysterical.
Isn't it funny?
It's like
but
it's happening. Yeah.
All right. So last night.
It is happening, right, Josie?
Yeah, it is. It is. It's happening all over.
Yep.
So do you want to hear some interesting medical facts about astrology? So astrology relates to every organ in the body. Every sign relates to a part of the body. Like Leo relates to the heart. So if you have strong Leo energy, you got to watch the heart. Okay. And then Josette, Taurus energy, Taurus governs the throat. And so you're a natural singer, or you're someone who could naturally help other singers to become singers, right? Totally interesting how that works. Well, guess what part of the body Pisces rules?
Is that the brain?
Interestingly, it rules the feet.
The feet.
Need to get outside, take off your shoes, get your feet in some water. This is the perfect time to go barefoot walking. Okay?
I can't in Colorado right now. It's 31 degrees.
Fair. That's fair.
Or maybe
Okay,
to take my shoes off and go out there and feel the ice and then come back in, right? The
Right, you
cold, the
could.
shock.
You could also have a bath
Yeah,
and get
I
your feet
take
in the
baths.
water.
I take hot baths every night to
Of
cleanse.
course,
Yeah.
of course. So it also rules the lymphatic system.
Oh, wow.
So this is a
Oh.
really good time for lymphatic cleansing. Poke root apparently is really good for the lymphatic system, as is cucumbers. So many juices are good for flushing the lymphatic system, and jumping on the trampoline is super amazing for the lymphatic system.
Mhm.
I love my
Right.
trampoline. It is the best exercise.
Yeah.
It actually exercises every muscle in the body.
Yeah.
It's ideal. Okay. Well, so I'm sleuthing, learning about how Pisces rules the feet and the ankle bones. It's also associated with the pineal gland. And the pineal gland is located here in the center of the brain and is
Yep.
related to, it's the most spiritual organ in the body.
Yes. Yep.
Mhm.
Okay. And so any healing you can do around your pineal, your pituitary, is really good right now. It also governs the clock that governs sleep. I forget what the circadian rhythm.
Ooh.
Okay.
So many
Right.
of us, our circadian rhythm is totally off and
Yep.
no longer connected to the flow of nature. So the most healing thing as an overall health tool, and the most difficult thing you could do, is to go to bed with the sun. When it sets, you go to sleep. When it rises, you rise. And of course, you know, there's a little flexibility here, like, you know, if you go to bed. So every hour of sleep before midnight is worth 2 after.
Wow. So that's
So
where I'm way off.
yeah. Yeah. And it depletes our kidneys. And our kidneys are the source, our battery pack in our life. It's what gives us energy to do everything else that we do.
That's why my
Right?
energy's been way down.
Yeah. So actually going to bed at night is the most healing thing we could possibly do, better than any vitamin, better than any, you know, healing
Yeah.
system. It's the daily routine of actually going to sleep earlier.
Okay.
I did it one night, and the next day I felt like I'd been given a huge dose of vitamins. Like I just felt
Wow.
so much better. I was like, oh, I'm just letting the body do what it naturally does.
Yeah.
So this year, because it's a 7, because it's about Neptune, which is Pisces, which rules the pineal gland, I think this is a year of returning back to the natural rhythm.
Mhm.
So if you can't go on a retreat, you can control your daily patterns of sleep and rest. And
Yeah.
Pisces rules sleep. Pisces rules dreams. And so does Neptune. Neptune is the god of sleep. So it's an amazing year for taking control of our habits and patterns, getting back in touch with nature. And notice as you do that, the incredible healing that you're going to have. Also, be careful of impulse buys, because
Yeah.
we got Aries, money. Venus is money. Isn't it interesting that the sign, the planet that represents women, is also the planet that represents money? Isn't that interesting? And in
Yeah.
astrology, Jupiter also represents money, but it represents the millionaire, and Venus represents the billionaire.
Wow.
Woohoo.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah. So I really feel that women are coming back into our financial freedom.
Yeah.
This next turn of the century is about women reclaiming our financial birthright back from wherever it was taken from us, from what other realm it's been taken. It's coming back because they can't keep it back anymore. And remember how I said Saturn went into Aquarius?
Yes.
This is the most beautiful image of Aquarius I've ever found. It's the water bearer. And so Aquarius is that new age vision of pouring the water for humanity, building the structure, because it's Saturn, for this new vision of humanity to land, to finally land. Yeah.
So pretty. Yeah, I love all of your slide. I mean, they're so beautiful, Lotus.
So thank you. Thank you, Crystal. So from here, now that I've given you quite a lot to chew on about the astrology, how are you feeling about your lives now that you've had this information? What's coming up? What's arising for you? What are you realizing?
I'm realizing I have, I mean, a lot more clarity for myself, knowing now that I've been on here with you and knowing that it wasn't me and I wasn't making this up subconsciously. Now it's releasing a lot, and I'm knowing I can move forward, Lotus. I can move forward now and take the time out to rest and take care of myself, my body, my mind, my spirit, and get back into meditation and cleansing my body. It's so interesting because I just ordered a herb to do an herbal detox. I know I'm way off on nourishing my body because I've been going and so stressed and with this energy of others, and this has just cleared up so many things for me. So thank you. This is amazing. I always learn every time I come on here. It's a wealth of knowledge, and I know we need to get back, and it's our birthright, right? And it has to do with the planets and where we're at in this lifetime. So thank you for that. And I know I'm going to start planning my retreat.
Yeah. So I found out what day the North Node changes from Aries to Pisces. It's a really interesting day. It's June 21st.
Oh, wow. So it's coming up early okay.
Yeah. Solstice. Yeah. So the highest point of sunlight, the karmic destiny star for the whole planet, the collective consciousness, is going to shift out of Aries, the self, the individual, war, into Pisces, into the dream realm, into the spiritual realm, into the watery energy, the yin energy. So it's going to go from yang to yin.
Oh, awesome.
Okay? And so it is awesome, but it also is like, okay, be aware that external go is going to shift dramatically.
Right. After June 21st.
Yeah. So this is kind of the last hurrah of us working out our individuality identity stuff. This is like the real strong push now between now and then of like the completion of what Aries, the North Node being in Aries, has brought to light for all of us, right? Where have we found independence? Where have we found out that us seeking independence has hurt other people?
Yeah.
And where are we now going to repair the bridges? So another thing that I have to share with you is that Mars going into Gemini, I've heard it predicted that we're facing a mass revelation of truth this year. Mass media revelation.
Oh, yeah.
So that's also coming. And imagine how that's going to affect people to be told things that they were not expecting to hear. It's going to be a lot. And so we might be being prepared by feeling this intensity before it happens. And so we're just going to have to be strong for each other.
We are.
Through it.
Support one another to get through it. Yeah.
It's the awakening. Allow these sounds and these vibrations just wash off your energy field. Anything you're dealing with. Anything that's going on with you. breath in, out. We're going to begin shortly, letting yourself begin to come back into your body, into the here and now, connecting to the earth, connecting to the love of the earth. Slowly coming back. Good. And taking a nice deep breath in. And a nice deep breath out. Welcome to today's event.